How did slavery start?
Slavery started in the 1690 when a Dutch ship brought 20 African slaves to the British colony. It came to some of the states in US few years after the start. Many of the slaves was imported from Africa, and the reason was many of the slaves that lived in Africa didn't have so much, and the slave owners promised the African clothes and a place where they could live. But the slaves don't know the bad side of the slavery. 100 years after the slavery started, was some of the South states extended the slavery, but in North they abolished the slavery, and the South states were they increased really big, and the whole economy was based on slavery. Reverse, the North part focused more on manufacturing industry. And how was the condition for the slaves, Lykke?
The conditions and the way the slaves were treated was bad, especially in the South. The South produced a lot of cotton, and they used slaves for the hard work on the cotton fields. The slaves didn't have any rights, and often some black slave girls were forced to get sexual with the slave owner. If any black boy or girl stood up and refused to do what the slave owner said, they often punished them and often used a whip. They were also sold as if they were an object. In the northern parts of USA, it was a bit easier and not that hard work. There wasn't many slaves compared to the South, and some of them were free slaves. They had better conditions as well. But did the slavery end at all?
Yeah, it did. Slavery led to the Civil War. It started in 1861, where the new elected President Abraham Lincoln was against the slavery. In the Civil War, the North, who wanted to abolish the slavery, fought against the South, who didn't want the slavery to end. The war ended in 1865, where the slavery was banished. But the released slaves didn't have the same rights as the whites did afterwards.